Me tonight, actually, because there were a few that I was able to grant to, and I've not been able to speak to all of them. I know you've got grants. I appreciate it. I did want to and think that's ultimately great for us. I'm sure it's well. Yeah, just to kind of have a connection with yeah. Yeah. There's other, we used to, I like it so much, it's a full-time job, and after the council, it's like 50 and 30 of us at council, it's 2 months, I'm still going to do that. January, I'm having more time, and the reason for some is that one of the things I want to do in January is to meet up with those half dozen that I've given grants to, just to get closer to them and understand what it is they're actually doing. You have partners and you provide funding, you build relationships rather than just give them money. So that's what was that? That would be interesting. Would be interesting to talk to you. That's funding works. It'd be interesting to have your insight on the piece regarding which I appreciate. More generally, you seem to apply and once you know the town well. So I'm interested in just having a chat to you. Oh, I know. I'm aware of that. I'm cyclists.
Good evening, councillors and members of the public, visitors and officers. And for everyone watching on the live stream, welcome to Stratford-upon-Avon Town Council meeting scheduled for the 23rd of November. Before we proceed, I would like to ask the Reverend Dr. Roy Lodge, MBE, for his thought of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Climate change, the COVID-19 pandemic, has exposed our deep vulnerability and raised numerous doubts about our economic systems and the way we organize our societies. We have lost our sense of security and are experiencing a sense of powerlessness and loss of control over our lives. We find ourselves increasingly frail and ever fearful, caught up in a succession of crises in the areas of healthcare, the environment, food supplies, and the economy, to say nothing of social, humanitarian, and ethical crises. And all these crises are profoundly interconnected. They also forecast a perfect storm that could rupture the bonds holding our society together within the greater gift of creation. Every crisis calls for vision. the ability to formulate plans and put them rapidly into action, to rethink the future of the world and our community, our common home, and to reassess our common purpose. These crises present us with the need to take decisions, radical decisions that are not always easy. And at the same time, moments of difficulties like these also present opportunities that we must not waste. We can confront these crises by retreating into isolationism, protectionism, or exploitation. Or we can see in them a real chance for change, a genuine moment of conversion, and not simply in a spiritual sense. And so it is essential that each of us be committed to this urgent change of direction, sustained by our own faith and spirituality. We need to work responsibly towards a culture of care for our common home, but also for ourselves. And it is worth repeating that each of us can play our part in changing our collective response to the unprecedented threat of climate change and the degradation of our common home. Finally, we need to remind ourselves that we are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change and the last generation that can do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated. Can we go to item 1 on the agenda, please, to accept any apologies for absence?
Councillors, we've had apologies from Councillor Wall, Councillor Mackenzie, Councillor Howes and Councillor Voss.
Thank you, Madam Town Clerk. Item 2, do we have any declarations of interest on items on the agenda? Take that as no. Item 3, to receive written requests for dispensation for disclosable pecuniary interests. As far as I'm aware, we don't have any. Item 4, to grant any requests for dispensation. Obviously, that's not appropriate. Item 5, public participation. We have one public speaker tonight, that is Mr. Tim Sinclair. Tim, would you like to come forward?
Should I join you at the front?
No, I think you could actually, if you can you utilise the desk on the side there, please.
Councillors, good evening. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm Tim Sinclair, Councillor Tim Sinclair. I was elected in May for the first time to any office as the county councillor for Stratford North. I'm referencing a couple of comments that Roy Lodge made in his speech, which I thought was very good. I noted play your part and have a vision. I was new to all of this and I wanted to play my part. I would like us to have a vision for Stratford-upon-Avon as well as Stratford-upon-Avon and Warwickshire as a county. I'm looking to play my part in my term and I very much want to have a chance to work with yourselves at town level and district councillors at district level. I know some of you already and work closely with some of you already. I don't know all of you. If there's an opportunity to get to know you better, I would appreciate it, welcome it, and like to collaborate with you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Tim. Great to have you here, and thank you for that brief presentation. You are quite willing to stay for the rest of the meeting if you would like to.
Thank you.
Item 6, to approve draft open minutes of the Town Council meeting held on the 12th of October 2021. I would like to present the minutes for approval of the Town Council meeting held on the 12th of October 2021. I beg to move. Can we vote to approve the minutes, please? It doesn't look as though we have the green.
No.
We're not using the cards tonight. All right, okay. That's unanimous then, thank you. Item 7, to adopt the open draft minutes of the Planning Consultative Committee meeting held on the 19th of October. Can I call upon Councillor Ian Fradgley, please?
I'd like to present minutes 77 to 92. PCC held on 19th of October. I beg to move.
And can we vote to approve those, please? Thank you. That's unanimous. Item 8 on the agenda, to adopt the draft open minutes of the Community Services Committee. Can I call upon Councillor Jill Cleave, please? And can we vote to approve those, please? That's unanimous. Item 9, to adopt the draft open minutes of the Civic and Heritage Events Committee. Can I call upon Councillor Kate Rolfe, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like you to approve the draft open minutes of the Civic Heritage and Events Committee held on the 2nd of November. I beg to move.
Thank you. And can we vote for approval of those, please? That is unanimous. Item 10, to adopt the draft open confidential minutes of the Finance and Scrutiny Committee. Can I call upon Councillor Liz Coles, please?
Can I propose that we adopt the draft open confidential minutes of the Finance and Scrutiny Committee meeting held on the 16th of November 2021. I beg to move.
Thank you, Councillor Coles. Can we vote to approve those, please? That is unanimous. Item 11, to adopt the notes from the Stratford support meeting. Can I call upon Councillor Kate Rolfe, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Stratford support meeting held on the 2nd of November. I beg to move, if I may, take your indulgence that this group have been nominated for an award which is going to be held on Thursday evening. It's set up by the Herald and the District Council, and we are up for an award.
Thank you, Councillor Rolfe. And hopefully, I know if we do manage to win, I think it will be very well deserved. Can we vote to approve the notes, please? That is unanimous. Item 12, to adopt the minutes of the Youth Town Council meeting. Can I call upon Councillor Jill Cleave, please?
May I ask that we adopt the minutes of the Youth Council meeting held on the 11th of November? May I also, through you, Chair, Mr. Mayor, sorry, so this was our annual meeting, and we can even drink water with carry on processes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Cleave. And can we vote to approve those, please? That is unanimous. And item 13, we now move on to the Town Clerk's open report. Item 13.1, the consultation for the Environmental Permitting Regulation 2016, which amends the procedure in particular for our the burial spaces at the cemetery. I presume everyone's read the notes in detail. Does anyone have any comments that they wish to raise? Councillor Jackson.
You mentioned in the report that the current cemetery space will reduce down to 160 spaces which don't need supply. What's the capacity of the land supply? What would that reduce capacity be?
I'm afraid you should have asked me that question in advance, because I would have then been able to tell you. I cannot tell you that right, but I can forward all that information to you because I have it, but not to hand.
Councillor Jenny Fradgley.
Thank you, Smith. I would just like to support the NUC recommendations, because I think we need to protect the space that we have in our cemetery going forward. And actually, 40 years would actually give more weight to the argument that we need to keep the present size of the graves to be dug safely and for capacity in the cemetery.
Councillor Clean. Thank you, Councillor Fradgley.
Yeah, I just want to second Councillor Democratic. So, as we know, this is the only cemetery that's worth the solitary. Spaces of opinion, and we need to make sure that we do allow residents, especially the town that have their property on it, to reduce the size, to increase the size of the what's there. And so, again, that's Councillor Jenny Crouch said to support what is going to move forward. Thank you.
Councillor Clean. Is everyone in agreement with the proposal? I think I would like to also consider the potential, obviously, of the additional land which had previously been discussed to purchase for an extension to the cemetery as part of the proposal also, if everyone is in agreement. Councillor Fradgley.
I may speak a second time.
Yeah.
I think that should be supported as well, going forward, as Councillor Keane said. This is our own cemetery that we have, and we need to actually have the capacity to go into the future. And I hope when we actually come to look at that land, we can actually take it in respectful and kind.
Thank you, Councillor Fradgley. In that case, do we have the proposal to it?
Basically support the recommendation to support. I would strongly agree with the recommendation that Mark offered.
And with the extension, the potential extension of the land.
Put 1.2.
Okay. And you're seconding that, Councillor Cleave? Can we vote on that then, please? And that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Item 13.2, to consider and adopt the proposed policy for the conferring of the title of honorary freeman and free women. I presume that again that you've all had chance to read the report from Town Clerk. Is everyone in agreement with that, or do we have any comments that people would like to add to what we've got? Okay, can we?
Yes, when I read it, I just was really pleased, and I thought that's a fantastic document. It covers all the things, and I'm looking forward to a new name going up on our wall here.
One day.
One day.
Thank you, Councillor Fradgley. Any other comments? No, can we vote to adopt the proposed policy then, please? And that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Item 13.3, to consider the proposal from WALC for a Jubilee Fund. Obviously, this is outlining the Platinum Jubilee for next year and the possibility of a joint fund which would then be distributed around to projects. Does anyone have any views on this or comments? Obviously, we already have something in place from Civic Heritage and Events Committee. Is it something that we feel that we should be participating in or not? Councillor Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, probably a question for the Town Clerk, really. Is there any more detail on what's implied in the report?
No, I'm afraid not.
Completely open-ended.
Completely.
An idea, so there's no mechanism in terms of how much money they want or how they distribute it. Right.
Purely that.
Thank you, Councillor Lee. Councillor Fradgley.
I don't think we're in a position at this point in time in setting the budget to take on an open-ended commitment to a fund which we have no detail on. Plus the fact that we've actually already got arrangements in place for our own celebrations, which I believe have been in place for some time, which are going to cost. So I think at this moment in time, we need to concentrate on getting our idea together. If anything comes forward that actually puts more flesh on the bones, it might come back in the correct period for another consideration.
Thank you, Councillor Fradgley. Councillor Rolfe, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not entirely sure we do have anything arranged at the moment. We had our first meeting last week with other partnerships in the town. It was a really productive meeting, and we are looking to have another meeting this side of Christmas to actually put some flesh on the bones of the ideas that have come forward. I mean, we know that there are certain things that have been booked already, like the beacon lighting, and we know we've got the bandstand, we know we've got the recreation ground, etc., etc. But we haven't decided solely on what we're going to do. But what is very encouraging is that the partnerships in the town are all happy to join in with us and make it a town event, which I think is extremely important. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rolfe.
Just to echo Councillor Rolfe's comments just then, it seems like we're taking a slightly different approach where potential community organisations could apply to join that group that's looking after those celebrations instead of a fund to give grant out to.
Thank you, Councillor Howe. Is anyone, Jason, sorry, Councillor Foyce.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think the principle of a Jubilee fund is probably something that we probably need to be open-minded towards, and for individual organisations to sort of come forward to ask for some funding. However, that may duplicate what the Stratford Town Trust may have in mind. I don't know. Well, I don't know if the Town Trust will have a fund for organisations to do something. Perhaps any councillors here on the trust may be able to sort of embellish us on that. I'm not sure.
Thank you, Councillor Foyce. Councillor Jackson.
My understanding is that the Town Trust sat in on the meeting last week, did they? And they will be working in collaboration with all the other groups.
Oh.
Thank you, Councillor Jackson. Councillor Rolfe.
Unfortunately, someone from the Town Trust, they weren't able to be at that meeting last week, but they will have been sent the notes. But they had put forward before the meeting that they were happy to take part. Thank you.
Think at present moment, sorry, Councillor Bradshaw.
I think at the present moment, we're not in a position to support or not support. I think you have to postpone it. The group that Councillor Rolfe has been talking about actually says exactly what's going to happen, and then they're sure to what's going to do, and what it should be placed.
Thank you, Councillor Bradshaw. In that case, then, shall we defer the item to a later meeting?
That's what I would propose if anybody wants to second it.
Would someone like to second that? Thank you, Councillor Cleve. Can you vote on that, please? That is unanimous. Item number 13.4, to review the Town Council's data protection policy, which you've all been provided a copy with in the Town Clerk's open report. And this is really to instill that we need to review these procedures annually. So I'm hoping that you will review those, and if there are any issues that you think that we need amending, that you could report back to the Town Clerk accordingly. So can we just note those, please? Thank you. Item 14, written reports by representatives to outside bodies. We have some data that's been supplied very kindly by Councillor Dowling on the CCTV forum. Councillor Dowling.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm sure you've all read this report. It's been a difficult couple of years for everybody, including the CCTV forum. but as you can see from the figures, the CCTV is still helping Stratford tremendously. The keeping law in the town, the arrest rate will help it's fabulous. And I strongly advise that we do the budget that we support CCTV. That we have been supporting for the last 18 years, as it is one, as the police will tell you when they come, it's one of their best methods that they have.
Thank you, Councillor Dowling. Does anyone have any questions with regards to the data supplied? Councillor Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've forgotten what you said in the previous report. I wasn't quite sure how these figures compared to comparable periods in the past.
Well, they're pretty similar, to be honest. They're up in some places and down in others. Obviously, there's not so many people being in the town at night, so the public order events are down. The robbery ones, you see, we've had very few because there are not so many people on the streets. But in percentages, they're very good.
Thank you, Councillor Dowling. Do we have any more questions? In that case, then we also have a report on Stratford in Bloom from councillors Jenny Fradgley and Warren Howells. Would you like to present anything else, Jenny, or?
The only thing that I actually sent it round to the committee members of the Stratford in Bloom, just so they knew what was actually coming. The only information I had was please could I include a lot of work, huge amount of work has gone into a new website and to social media and Twitter to spread the news of Stratford in Bloom. So I'm sorry I missed that piece of the report.
Thank you very much, Councillor Fradgley. Any other questions for Councillor Fradgley? Okay, in that case, then we'll move on to ward reports. Does anyone have any ward reports? Councillor Cleave.
It's more of a report, it's not a report to say, it's just to say, I know that my ward COVID numbers are on the rise, and I believe that's the same for the town, so I think again, we should be setting an example and ensuring that if possible, we can all wear masks so possible and check my numbers because I've still got a cough after my going for COVID. Hopefully I am safe and free, but it's just for everybody to be aware, obviously COVID is on the rise again, and we need to just maintain as much hygiene, cleanliness and social distancing as possible.
Thank you, Councillor Cleave. 16, the Town Clerk's General Verbal Report. Madam Town Clerk.
It is just for information. You will have found table of things on your benches. Your folders are for the mayoral event on Friday. They're very, very detailed. I apologise, but I think actually, as we had a rehearsal and only one councillor who wasn't on the stage was able to attend. So we are going to run through this straight after Town Council. And as Mr. Mayor said, there's no wine until we get it right. So.
There may not be any wine even when you don't get it.
More than likely. So that's all there. So if you'd please take these upstairs with you. On the night itself, this running order will be available to you. But I don't want you to process in with them. So they'll be on your chairs. Your chair name, your name is on your chair tonight. So there shouldn't be any confusion. But if you just look on page 1 at the bottom there, that's the order of procession into the chamber. So we'll do that straight after this meeting, please. And the other one that it should be on your desk is the programme for the opening of the Christmas festival. We had hoped that we would, Mr. Mayor and the Chairman of the District Council would launch this from the balcony of the Town Hall, and that's still possible. We're still on track to take the scaffolding down, but I'm not going to tell them that what I think we need to do is actually change it because of the layout, because of all the vehicle mitigation, because of all the road closure barriers, etc. who is actually going to come to the town hall and see it opened from the town hall? They're just not. So we will have the civic reception here, which is a what I call a light civic reception, in terms it'll be mulled wine, festive fare, mince pies, sausage rolls, etc. And then the procession will go to the stage, which has been relocated, and that's now at the top of Rod Street. And that's where the fair will be turned on. So I'm sorry you won't get your moment on the balcony, but you will get your moment.
That's okay. I can't see over the balcony.
And the winners of the polar bear will be there. And I have to confess, in my 20 odd years here, I'm afraid it's going to be the first civic event I shall miss, because I was trying to get a breakaway before Christmas with my sister and family. And I looked at my diary and there's a whole week of nothing. And I thought, wow, great stuff. We'll go. So booked, done, dusted. And we were in a meeting discussing the balcony, the coming down of all the scaffolding and etc. And they said, so when does it have to come down? And I said, oh, for the Christmas festival. And they said, when is that? I went, oh, I don't know. Dick, when is it? And she said, oh, it's the 6th to the... Oh, right. So I'm very sorry. Everything's in place. There's the program. I've discussed it with all the officers. We honestly know what we're doing. It'll be fine, but it'll be the first one I've ever missed. So I do apologise. And that's that.
Thank you, Madam Town Clerk. The date of the next meeting of the Town Council will take place at 6:30 p.m. on the 25th of January 2022 at the Town Hall. And as it's our last meeting prior to Christmas, even though we haven't switched the lights on yet, I'd just like to say a Merry Christmas to all of the residents watching on the live stream. I'd like to thank the councillors, Madam Town Clerk, and the members of the public which have attended the meeting this evening. And on that, at 7 p.m, I will call the meeting closed.
It's time for Mr. Mayor to retire to his parlour.